Yeah, so that movie was alright.
Alright, we back. And we just saw a Glass Onion, a Knives Out story or something like that. Thoughts?
It was good. Yeah. It was a good mystery and shit. I did not know it was going to happen the whole time. I mean, I thought I knew, and then I didn't know. Actually, everything I thought that... I'm trying to think if anything that I thought in the beginning actually happened. I don't think it did.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I gotta say, so...
It was all different.
It's cool to talk spoilers right now, right?
You could go, yeah. Go ahead.
Alright, so when they show, in the very beginning, they go like, oh, Daniel Craig's got like... his character's gay. I'm like, alright, that's like kind of whatever. When they showed that it was Hugh Grant, I was like, oh, yes, that is, of course, that's fucking hilarious. That like Hugh Grant is Daniel Craig's gay lover. That's like fucking...
I did think that was funny.
Like, because at first I was like, okay, it's great, yeah, whatever. They're making, you know... Character development's also...
That happened at the beginning? What do you mean? How did that happen at the beginning?
He was sitting in the bathtub talking on the Zoom about how he's all like sad and shit, and he wants a mystery, and a man's voice was like, oh, Daniel Craig, honey, it's a mystery's at the door, and whatever, and then you don't, and then you just sort of
I didn't even put that together yet.
And then but it was Hugh Grant, and it was like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. It's like, you know, because he's not even in the movies anymore and shit, so.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, the twist with the sister was good, I thought. That was kind of a fun... Because it was like Clue. It was kind of, sort of, I guess. There weren't... I guess it was like a simpler mystery than like... I don't know. I guess they explained the metaphor with the glass onion, right? That it's like, it looks complicated, but it's actually like really,
not
really
at all,
simple.
Yeah.
I didn't even see him being an idiot coming, if I'm being real.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. It's...
I was like, yeah, I thought he was smart too.
Yeah, I thought Edward Norton was going to be the victim, honestly. I thought he was going to be the dead one the whole time.
Me
like,
too. I thought it was gonna go like the game, you know what I mean? And it just
Yeah.
was over in an instant. I was like, okay, now this movie's off the
Yeah,
rails.
That was funny
That
when
was-
that happened. I was
that
like,
turned me up. I was
like,
excited.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
Oh my god, I totally forgot about that whole... I was expecting to be like the fucking like entire thing to be like the game, and then yeah, that was like...
And then that's how the movie ends, and he really does get killed, and it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I like that. That was good.
But I mean, they kind of did give it away that he was evil the whole fucking time.
Yeah. But then
If you
it's
look
like,
back at a lot of mannerisms and like the shots and the way, like the lighting of a lot of things, I feel like he
Yeah.
would say things and he'd be in total shadow, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like what are they trying to say to me right now?
I guess it's
Yeah,
like because they
yeah.
didn't let us know what the actual mystery was until like that's kind
Yep.
of how they made it seem more complicated, is by like disguising what the fuck we were trying to figure
and
out.
that even
Yeah.
Benoit Blanc and them were acting that whole time, and to us that was us going through the journey with them, thinking that was her, that was Andy, and Benoit
Oh,
didn't know what
shit.
the hell was
Right.
going
Oh
on.
yeah, we didn't even know who she was.
Yeah, we thought it was Andy for the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah, that was good. So we got to experience their point of view, kind of.
Yeah, no, like for the most part, yeah. For the whole like first
Yeah.
half of the movie, we were on the same ride as them.
Oh, man.
And then it just like shifts gears, and it was like, holy crap. Now I don't know.
Yeah.
Because even the scene where he had like put the drink down and she bumped into him and all that stuff,
Yeah.
it was like, that's where I was looking for clues. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what I mean? But that just still wasn't even the truth at all yet.
Right.
Like,
They like showed, they had a lot of good misdirections, like showing like the fucking with the bumping into and who took the gun and whatever. Because I remember like just the fact that they were showing people bumping into him, and I didn't even think about it. But it's like, oh, it's funny that they're showing attention to that, when it really was just this other thing the whole time. That like, it's probably one of those rewatch things. Like, oh yeah, of course, because I didn't remember I remember them showing like emphasis on the glasses being picked up and put down, but I didn't remember exactly
Right,
how it
right.
went down.
Oh yeah, that he gave it. He gave the drink.
yeah,
Yeah.
that totally slipped. Because
Yeah, I
after they
didn't
started
even see
saying
any
that,
of
I was
that.
like, yeah, he did do that. I remember that.
Yeah, that was cool. That like shit. That's like kind of setting in now. It's like fucking like, wow, cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Well done, Glass Onion.
Yeah, it's been like bringing in all the small things, like, you know, the pineapple juice thing. Like, I wasn't paying any attention to
Oh,
anything like
yeah,
that
yeah.
at all.
And he did say it.
There's this moment when they're all talking, and like Kate Hudson, the blonde, had her like assistant sitting on her fucking like sort of head and on her lap there. You remember that? There's just like a 2-second shot. It was really, and the entire audience laughed. It was so fucking random.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was just like, what the
was
fuck?
Where, who, where,
The
what,
assistant
what?
didn't do anything the entire
Yeah,
movie.
who
It was just
the
like,
assistant didn't do shit.
I didn't know what her point was either.
yeah, I guess just
So she
misdirection.
actually was the assistant?
just to like make it seem
Yeah.
like there's more going on than there actually was. Just like these other people in the orbit of like the billionaire or whatever. Huh.
Because literally, she was there, and it was just like, yeah, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, and like no one. And then I swear to God, I thought this fucking stoner dude was gonna like come into it somehow.
Oh,
Another
I wish
like
he was in
misdirection.
it. Yeah, I wish he was in it more.
Yeah.
Just in the cut. You're just down there like smoking in the
He's
basement.
like, you want to hang out?
What?
He's like all like depressed.
But who? So we never even really knew who he was. He was just
No,
that
he
guy
was
who was
just,
just
like,
there,
the guy,
just his
yeah.
friend who was just hanging out.
You're just like, oh. He was going through some stuff, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
At least he made it, you know. He made it out, yeah. Before that thing got. I don't know how they all survived that
That's fucking
explosion,
crazy,
but
yeah,
we'll just let that be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a, you know, it's now that more that I'm thinking about it, the more I like enjoyed it. I think because it's
Yeah,
like
that was great.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it more talking about it.
Yeah, it's experiencing it was like kind of like it was cool how it was the journey there of like kind of figuring it out, and then like even with it even being simple and with all the extra parts, it's like yeah, that's part of it. That's like the whole point, that it was a simple thing, but it was presented in like a complicated way. And then they were able to get away with it because there was like they called attention to
That was like the
that's entire
theme.
point.
Yeah, like, that was
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. And let's be real, man. The acting performances were on point.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
I like Benoit Blanc as much as I like 007.
Yeah, it should be so, and that helped him when he was acting goofy in the beginning when he was pretending. It was his entire performance is so over the top that him pretending to be over the top when he's acting like, oh, I'm so happy to be here, whatever, blah blah blah, and then shit, and like before it's revealed that he's like has a scheme the whole time.
And them even just their response to what's her name too, because they were always like, oh, she's being weird or something this, or you know what I mean, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the whole time I thought it was like, oh, that situation that happened has her acting weird towards them now.
Right.
Not like it was a whole nother person.
Yeah.
What's her name? That's Janelle Monáe. She did pretty good too. She
I
snapped.
thought the Southern thing would be annoying, and it wasn't.
For who? For which character?
Her, yeah. Like when she was like the
but-
sister, and she was doing like, hey, yeah, like Sandy.
Because it was
from
believable. She was doing a good
but
job.
then, yeah, it's like she was like, you know, I sort of got immersed pretty quickly. So I guess the same with Daniel Craig, where it seems
Yep,
so
you don't like Benoit Blanc at
fucking
first, but
over
then it's
the
like,
top.
okay.
And it's like, what? Then it's like, oh yeah, why not? Yeah, this is
Yeah.
like, he's doing a good job with it.
He's a
It's
character.
like crazy whole thing.
He's an actual character.
Yeah, that's yeah. I feel like Edward Norton was the only one who I feel like was going like kind of like like a little bit like over like too like over the top with some of his stuff, because he's like such like a good dramatic actor, and like seeing him be like funny, because he's done other funny things too. I mean, Fight Club in a lot of ways, but
I
yeah.
thought that was like the point was that was his character
Yeah.
though, was
That's
he
fair.
was the dumbass, and he was good at like the pizzazz and the the hurrah
Right.
of it all, but the
Yeah.
bravado, but he really wasn't even doing
You know
anything.
what?
Like
and yeah, I guess
like-
some of that makes, because a lot of his big over the top, being surprised facial expressions.
Yeah,
because
he's
he's like that. Okay.
trying to lead his pack and be the visionary and be the this and the that.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like this is like a rewatch movie, definitely at least like once. Good then to see it
For
with,
sure,
like,
yeah.
this other,
Yeah.
like I feel like Knives Out is probably the same way. I've only seen that one once.
I saw that the second time, and yeah, because you're watching it with a different frame,
Yeah.
knowing, oh, this is what they were saying with that clue. The clue
Yeah.
that led you this way was actually leading you this way.
Yeah, and so it's like watching it for the first time, you still get that experience anyway, because it's like the movie changes, like kind of like plot, like a third of the way through, and then like again after that, like another third of the way through, it like shifts entirely, like with this new information or perspective.
Yeah. The new information changes everything.
Yeah, that's cool. That was a good one.
It's like a formula that they have now for these, and I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it's like so there's a third one guaranteed, right? That's the
Yeah.
whole thing, that like with Netflix they like hired them for 2 that apparently now they're going to be in theaters too. which is
Good,
cool.
and let's touch on that for a hot second, not to derail from the
Yeah,
movie, but
well, that was a big
so
part of it.
Netflix is doing this theater thing, like that's a thing now. Like
Yeah.
it was like
the
before,
trailers for the
Yeah,
Netflix
yeah.
things and stuff.
and they had their like movie version logo that was like a little bit different than the normal. You're just going
Yeah.
in your little color bars or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Man, and then
That's
next thing
funny.
you know, they're going to be releasing Stranger Things episodes in the theaters like a week early or some shit. Oh
There's
my
more
God.
Stranger Things. Is that
There's
a
going to
thing?
be one more.
Oh well, I mean,
I
we
thought
just
this-
saw that episode 1 and 2, so I mean, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
The industry's changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a show playing in the theater. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, what was that?
I don't even remember, but it was a show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the ad, honestly, the ad in the beginning did have the like with they had the thing where it's like the image is the same size of a TV proportionally, and then it went to the full screen. That's like, yeah, that's true. People like going to the theater is awesome. To be able to be in like a place like that and have like the sound. There's a part where Dave Bautista was on the motorcycle and shit. And that like sounded like we weren't in like a special theater or anything, but it was like it's the sound effect of it like going from behind you to in front of you as a thing.
Oh, when he was
really cool.
did the little car skirt.
Yeah. Like the doppling sound or whatever yeah, it's cool that Netflix movies can be in theaters.
Yeah, I'm with that too, except for the fact that I thought it was coming out, and so when I went to check on Netflix and it wasn't there, it was like in theaters only. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I'm glad I was able to avoid spoilers for this one, like going
Same.
blind.
Usually that doesn't happen for movies these days.
Especially things like this where the whole point is a mystery and whatever. So like,
yeah, it was
like,
very low key though. I feel like I didn't see that much marketing and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like word of mouth almost is how I
Yeah.
knew there was gonna be another Knives Out movie, but I didn't see too much promotion or anything for it like that.
Yeah. It's
But I never see promotion for Netflix movies when I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, there's so many.
It's only billboards on like Sunset or something like that. I really never ever see TV.
Besides The Irishman, what else is? I'm trying to think of even what their big movies are. They have like Stranger Things and House of Cards was big for a while.
Like a movie?
But then like they've been doing other stuff. Like they did the Rock movie with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
like
but that was
generic.
Netflix still. That was Netflix
that's
only.
fine. So like I'm trying to think of have they had other kind of like breakout hits that are like.
The game is changing. Netflix is like a legit studio now.
Yeah.
Like they're cranking out the movies. I don't want to say they shouldn't be getting a piece of this because they do
Totally.
deserve it.
I mean,
like they're
sucks
bringing
to
movies
have
back.
to be only, I mean, seeing something like this on the big screen was awesome. Something I like too is that they didn't, like, I feel like they didn't directly reference the Knives Out. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't say like, oh, and this is like the time I went to the house with all the family and stuff and whatever. I like that it was sort of like
Its own adventure.
Yeah.
You don't have to see the other one.
I really, it's good not like tying it directly to it. Like it could take place before Knives Out.
But it's the character.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that more than it being like leaning on like what happened before. Like I was like good that it was its own standalone thing.
More to come. Maybe Janelle Monáe is gonna be in more of them. She kind of snapped too. She was solving mystery.
Kilo.
I was sitting there like, dang. Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, it was. Man, it makes me want to play Clue or something. I haven't played that game in forever.
I'm gonna be real and say I don't recall ever playing Clue.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
What?
It's like I honestly couldn't even describe the rules.
It's like the mystery game where
it's
people.
like you have to like figure out who the killer is and what room and what weapon. It's the three things.
So that's the one where it's like it was Agatha in the kitchen with the knife.
wrench or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That was like a camp game. That would just be like in the box there with all the different games. That and like Chutes and Ladders, I feel like. This was kind of like I expected the house to be like more like a puzzle house, like fucking whatever.
Like how it started where they're doing. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That was such a setup. Like even when she looked at the Fibonacci, I'm like, oh, this whole building must be a Fibonacci sequence. And this, it's like, no, it's right there.
Yeah,
like it was never really anything as grandiose as I was almost thinking myself.
Yeah, that's really funny how they just kept saying it. It's like, oh yeah, and then like, you know, just. It's like I guess it really is the case. Yeah, I guess he is just a fucking idiot. All right. But then like the fact that he like burned it and it's like, oh yeah, that's smart. Okay, that's good. That he like, why wouldn't he just like take it from her? And he did. It's great. That they just like.
Even when he said that word, like what was it, imbreviate or something? I was like, oh, I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, the fake word.
Oh man.
Yeah, so wait, that guy was just like a fake guy.
Yeah, he's just like a fucking
funny.
poser the whole time.
Who just literally took her ideas and killed her.
Yeah.
She wanted to get some money for Claire. She wouldn't give it to him, so he killed her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Glass Onion.
Yeah.
And they played the song. They played the song at the end there. Which is like,
right at the end.
yeah. So, you know. Yeah, was it just me? Was there like a bunch of parts where it felt like, you know, like Daniel Craig or whoever was in front of like a green screen?
Yeah.
I swear,
Yeah,
yes.
that
And
was
that was the
one
virtual
time.
production for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, right.
Netflix does that shit so much.
And they really
beasts.
leaned
They're-
into the fact that it was like a pandemic thing too. Like,
Yeah, they were playing into that.
I'm glad that they weren't like going like all like preachy with whatever the fuck. They had like their intros and whatever, and then like they sort of moved on to like the mystery and shit of just like whatever. The
What
fuck
do you
was
mean
going-
that? What do you mean?
That like there was about like the first like 15 minutes was all like pandemic situation.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, and then it
And
just
then
was over.
Then they were on the island.
He
They were
says,
like, okay.
"Psst, "You're good.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're good." Okay.
Oh, I thought that was
Oh,
Ethan
and then
Hawke.
ask
I thought it was Ethan Hawke too, but I think it was Ethan Hawke.
Ben, I mean, he just shows up
Legit.
for a day and does like a weird thing, and then like you know,
I think that was Ethan
Oh
Hawke.
my god.
I forgot about that. That's funny.
And yeah, you're right. It was just done. That was it, and we're on. We're on to the next one.
Oh man, yeah, it was good. I'm glad I got to see that blind. That was entertaining. Daniel Craig, man. I wouldn't think that him doing the goofy accent would work, but
It does,
it definitely
though.
does. Yeah.
I felt like I like what's his name, Bautista. Is it Dave Bautista?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's been surprising me.
Yeah, I feel like he's been like
Wait,
good,
who's that?
and he's like the huge muscle guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's the dude
Yeah,
from
he's-
Guardians of the
yeah,
Galaxy.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he fucking, you know.
He's
Yeah.
not- yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah, I feel like he's been in like some other stuff that were like what, like Blade Runner he was in, where he like acted, he didn't even do any.
He was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had no action stuff. He was just, legit. This I felt like honestly was really no action stuff either. Like he just plays a character, just a
Yeah.
buff character, and it was kind of complex actually. I was like, oh, he was actually like kind of pimping his girlfriend out to get what he
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
from. I can't think of the character's name.
Yeah, yeah. Edward
Braun,
Norton.
Miles Braun.
Yeah,
Miles.
it's a good billionaire name there.
That's
That's
it.
but yeah, Richard Branson. That's the whole disruption thing. I feel like it's like the mix of all the different billionaires, right? Because like that's
Oh yeah, that's the character. I feel like we've seen that character now.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
The Jeff Jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. And they had made so they spent all the time talking about being a disruptor, and then then they had her do it. Like she starts breaking things. They're like, yeah, and then get to the point that you're uncomfortable, and then keep going, and like that. So like they did the whole speech and had her act it out. Like I knew somehow. that
Oh,
was
I didn't
gonna come
even
to
really follow that.
Yeah, wait,
Interesting. Cause she just kept on breaking the stuff past the comfort point.
Yeah, and then that's what it means to be
A
whatever.
disruptor. Yeah.
So yeah, she was the biggest disruptor of them all at the end.
And they did just go inside with her. Like they were all kind of followers. If I really look at their characters, they were all you know what I mean. He's not manipulated, but they were looking for something else, and that's what the sister almost represented for all of them. And then he just came in and took advantage because that was just who he was.
Yeah, it's funny, both Knives Out and then this also, it's they start out, I mean, they have a lot of known actors and people who are playing these big or specific characters and shit, and then most of them kind of fade away after the first third or so, because then it'll kind of after the movie changes, it was about Ana de Armas in the last one now, and where you your thing, your perspective changes.
Shit,
and
yeah,
then,
yeah.
And then so a lot of the characters who are red herrings in the first third of it stop being
They just split into the three acts, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That second act is almost the reveal,
Yeah.
kind of, for you. And
I
then the
guess
third act is you going with them
energy
to
source
solve it.
did come back into it a little bit, but
The clear?
Yeah, just all their motives and
Really
shit, and the politics and the science and whatever, and then and then I guess the influencer too, and then it was just really about the two partners, and they were none of them really were directly part of just the murder, it was just the initial murder.
Yeah.
Huh. So
They did throw me off with that one scene though where they were describing the crime, or Benoit Blanc was going on a little a rant or something, and he was picturing everybody doing it as a team or something.
Yeah.
That threw me off because I was like, oh, did they all do it, or what was that his imagination?
I guess that sets up too the fact that it's the changing, the picking up the glass in what order and stuff, because it's just describing rather than what's actually happening.
Yeah, he was picturing how she could have been killed. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, that threw me off.
Damn, that's some crazy shit. That's some that was a good movie. But it's like, again, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm enjoying it. It's a kind of, like when you're watching it, for me, it was like,
You were trying to figure it out.
yeah, like
yeah, I
not
want to
just
watch it like now.
yeah.
Again? Let's go.
In a week from now, right?
I was gonna say that's genius.
Yeah.
And then you just watch it on
Oh
Netflix.
shit, the
Oh,
numbers. Yeah.
shit, yeah.
That was good.
If you make movies that good, that is probably really what will happen.
Yeah.
Is they'll be able to premiere it, get money, and then keep the streams because people will just watch it
with
again.
HBO
Yeah,
and shit.
and
That's
people that
what.
didn't want to spend the money to
All
go to
during the
movies.
pandemic, I would like watch. It'd be like fun to go to the theater and see the thing. But then like with Dune, it'd be like, wait, what the fuck was that about? And then go and find the thing, like find the confusing part or whatever, and like put it on subtitles so you can understand them or whatever. Like or like the Batman, like seeing in theaters and being like,
He's
It's
like,
like,
what is
cool,
getting like
having
that? What?
both. Yeah, like it used to be like, oh, wait till Blockbuster has it, wait till it's on fucking DVD or
Yeah.
whatever.
The game is changing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's almost like new opportunities through all this kind of stuff. Like this
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Well, this is I like the fact that they released it early. That's like
Yeah,
super
movies
cool.
in 2023. Who knows what the norm's gonna be now?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we were
it
able
could
to
be
pay
anything.
under 20
Yeah, it
bucks
could be
for
like
a pretty nice
Prime
movie
and
theater,
shit.
which is good. I feel like with the prices rising and AMC being like 20 bucks, which is crazy. It's like I
It
feel like
is.
that's too expensive. Like
It's also LA, so it's just a matter
that's
of
true.
time.
I know that like
It's not
back
like
in
this otherwise.
Massachusetts, it's like
Yeah.
way cheaper. But
Yeah.
even so, it's like
Yeah, but it's still kind of
I feel like
expensive out there,
like paying like 10 to
probably.
12. I feel like that's like where I feel like I'd want to.
Same. That's the comfort zone.
So like this, it's being like
But-
what, like 15, like almost like
Oh,
14
yeah.
something.
I
Like, that's
can
like
deal.
a pretty good price.
I
Like,
can deal going. 20 is when I'm just like, why?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll pay like 25 for IMAX, but that's usually a fluke, and I didn't mean to do
Honestly,
that.
the A-list though, that's like if there's movies going out, if you actually go and use it, then it's like totally worth the value. Like that's crazy.
There's too many months where I don't go out though.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? Hey, AMC, please sponsor us,
Yeah.
and
Good
and
job,
we're gonna tell
AMC.
everybody, yeah, get A-list.
And you
Make
know
sure
what's
you get
great?
A-list.
Like,
Yeah.
yes.
You know what's great about AMC?
Do
The
that.
seats are super comfortable and they recline often.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
If
Well
you're
done.
listening, yeah. So we promote AMC
Yeah.
and Cinemark.
we
That was a
love it.
fun experience too.
We're
Hey,
friends
man.
Yeah,
of the
they're
theaters
both good.
everywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, we're open to theaters.
oh man,
You can click on the link at the bottom. You know.
smash that.
All right, y'all, rate it.
Honestly, I will say this movie. The one thing about the theaters. This theater had the bar and the restaurant in it. It's really nice.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
like
fucking
I guess the AMC's have them too, I
three-story
never know.
Cinemark here.
But these
crazy.
you can actually like see. I feel like with the AMCs, they're always like tucked away,
Hmm.
not convenient.
What? I gotta think about the rating, man. I'd say easily an 8. I would give this to the fact that like as I'm kind of like unwrapping it in my head, it's like I'm like, oh yeah, that and that, whatever. I feel like that's kind of cool to, to have it kind of grow like that.
Agreed.
I think 8's a good number.
Well, I was gonna give it the 9, so I guess we'll give it the 8.5.
Yeah, I mean it's like definitely like I don't know.
I mean, it could be a 9 too. I
it
don't
easily
know.
could be
Yeah.
like a high like. I'm just like it's I'm absorbing it still. It's still
Yeah,
fresh.
Yeah, I think
give
it
it the
can
9.
grow into a 9.
Like I definitely enjoyed
Maybe
myself
second
throughout.
watch.
Like there was things that I thought I was gonna be annoyed by, and then I ended up really liking and stuff. And there was nothing in it that I didn't really that I did not like. So yeah, really solid experience. 8.5. Could be a 9. Depends on if you're like doing like the imperial or metric system, I guess.
What?
What?
What's the imperial
It's
system?
like the inches and yards and feet versus like metric, which is centimeters and millimeters and kilometers and shit.
Well, I don't know. We're doing the hindsight
So
scale.
yeah,
so
8 and 9 depends on where you are, I guess.
We'll give it the 8. I mean, I still said it was a 9. I'm just balancing it out with the 8.5, and we didn't do the audience reaction. So
Solid average.
8.5.
Yeah.
You know, but it was a good movie. It was better than like average in my opinion.
Yeah.
Usually I'm
Yeah,
not like,
that's true.
or I can guess what the actual like end of the movie will be.
Yeah.
And this, I was getting thrown left and right to where I actually, at a certain point, said "fuck it" and was like going on, on the journey with them.
Yeah.
Like I actually can't even guess where this is going.
Yeah.
Even when she started breaking the glass, I was like, "Oh, we're just on an adventure."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, after like the first third of the movie, I like just genuinely had no idea what was. I was at
Yeah,
the
I
exact
was
same point there.
thrown
It was
off.
like, all right, Just like, you know, I feel like, yeah, honestly, from that point on, I was just like, I was already enjoying the movie, but then I was like in, like I was like, all right,
Yeah.
let's see what happens here. This is like cool. It's like,
Just put your arms in the air, like,
Yeah.
okay,
yeah.
figure it out. Benoit
Actually, yeah,
Blanc.
you know, I mean, I would put that. I feel like going to a theater and experience, or watching a movie and experiencing something. I feel like when you actually like get it, like No Time to Die. I feel like I was like another Daniel Craig one. I feel like I was in that movie at a
I
certain
was in
point.
that movie.
And like that bumps it up for me, like that watching experience. You know, like at least the first time of seeing it. So, yeah, I could see it like having like a 9 just for like the fun of watching it and watching it like or trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mystery part was good. Again, that doesn't happen often for me. You know, I'm like, oh, it was this or that.
So the third one, because this is kind of a different style of mystery than, because there was kind of a whodunit in this one. Batista got like poisoned.
Legit,
But
yeah.
Most
they
of the
did
time
dodge
it
a lot of
wasn't
that.
like, because like the murder had already happened before, but we didn't know that the murder happened. It's
We
just
didn't
like,
know.
huh. Yeah, so the I guess that's kind of like a good way to like prolong the mystery. Is just like literally not say what the fucking mystery actually. Just like like Knives Out, we knew it was a murder mystery because that's like what it was about.
Yeah, for sure. But this one was just like a mysterious situation.
Yeah.
But we didn't know.
Acting sketchy.
We
as
didn't
fuck.
know what was
The game was
yeah.
murder. It was
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? We didn't know it was already actual murder.
Right.
But they were talking about murder. There was, you know, there was the element of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
when she got revealed to be alive after getting shot, I thought I was gonna be like, oh, that sucks. That's like, you know, pop out. And then it's like, okay, this is like they stuck the landing with that. I feel like it could have easily been like not good. Also, I didn't know whose hot sauce they were talking about until he turned it around.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Well, he said that thing about it though.
Yeah, but I couldn't even. I was like, "Who is Jeremy Renner?" Yeah, I was like, "Do I even know who that is?" And then when I saw the picture immediately, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Oh,
That was
man.
great.
That's funny.
The little things.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of celebrity addition in this movie, like, but you know what I mean? It wasn't like a hard, oh, they were in this movie. Just
Yeah.
like a little quick
taste
second,
of it,
yeah.
I don't know why
Cameo.
the fact that it's Jeremy Renner makes it funnier than like anything. I don't know why like that specific celebrity works so well. Just like his fucking face in the bottle. For like, and they don't even like say it. Like, I feel like if a shittier movie would have gone like, aha, Jeremy Renner, and like they would have said it in that moment rather than just showing it. You know what I mean? I feel like that, like just seeing if there was just like enough to make it like, oh yeah, not only is it callback, but it's like that's like such a specific way to like.
Yeah,
disguise,
it might be
like,
like
the fact that it's,
psychological, like you as an audience now feel like you're solving the crime, and it's some emotional roller coaster they're
Yeah.
actually taking you on.
I guess because it's like the fact that it's Jeremy Renner and he's so distinctive looking as a leading man or supporting actor or whatever, and like so it's like the fact that he had the hot sauce and he had to be able to disguise her fake death. He had to make fake blood, so it's like why would he have fake blood on him? Like okay, he has hot sauce, and like how are we gonna make that's such a specific thing for him to be like taking hot sauce and putting it in his pocket. So like how do you make the
Because
audience forget about it?
he said take
Yeah,
10
yeah.
of them or take a few or
And the
something.
fact that it's like Jeremy Renner is associated with it, so then when it calls back, it's like, and it's like when it's being, you don't think about the hot sauce, you think about the fact that it's like Jeremy Renner
Interesting.
or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes the clue more of a clue.
It's like burying all this, and then having all the fake shit, like the assistant that didn't have anything to do with anything. And they show a scene of her talking to Edward Norton, and it has only to do with the fucking motive of like the politics character and whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect anything in the real plot.
I thought that she was going to kill him. That is where I thought her character was going. Because didn't she like say that literally
Yeah,
verbatim?
there was one.
Like-
Yeah, there was a bit about that,
and I was like,
and I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
where they're
who
like,
was
oh,
it?
I did it. I signed. Then I'm like, then they kept saying like, oh, I did it. I'm the one who did it. Then like they reveal like, oh, I did X, Y, Z. I signed some fucking document or whatever. They weren't.
Yeah.
They thought they were talking about the murder, and then they're not.
and then the arrow shooting her, I feel like there was more to that I just was totally missing too. Because he just explained that
He got
whole
shot
game
down?
so quickly. I was like, well, geez, Benoit. Like, that was my whole weekend too, bruh. I thought I was going on that adventure with them, and he just knocked that whole thing out in 5 minutes.
Yeah. I gotta say, Edward Norton, for someone that they were painting in a bad light, he handled Daniel Craig showing up uninvited really well. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that was funny.
yeah, like the fact that, he just was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, come on, come on the boat.
Playing his character though.
Yeah, and like Ethan Hawke didn't stop him and whatever. Like just like he was like, yeah, sure, come on the boat and whatever. Wait,
I didn't even think about that.
Who like how? Sorry, wait. So the sister got the box that was meant for the dead sister.
Yes.
So why did the dead sister have a box? Did that only had just happened like fairly recently, or like what was like the? Why did she like? Where'd the invite for the dead sister come from?
What?
Like she smashes it with a hammer and shit, and takes it to Daniel Craig, and is like, but where did like the invite to the party? And they're like, oh, we didn't think that she'd show up, and whatever.
Because I feel like that was maybe him, and I could be wrong, trying to cover his trail.
Okay, like
By sending one to her, like, oh yeah, like I didn't know you were dead. I sent you an invite to this party, and then for him to really be like, how the fuck are you here? I just killed you, you know?
That's funny.
Yeah. And it makes sense that he, so they kind of told you with his reaction really early on. Like,
yeah.
Okay, but then you didn't know what it was that like.
Yep. Yeah, you didn't know because at that point we didn't even know about the business and Clear and all of that stuff.
Yeah, we didn't know that there was even a murder.
Yeah.
That happened. Because you were told that the murder was gonna happen, that it was gonna be him. So then yeah, I assumed that someone was gonna actually kill him
during the game.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, so it's a solid 9, I'd say. Just like
wait, hold on. So he added that part in there when he went to talk to Benoit Blanc and was like, at 10 the lights go out. He did that afterwards because Benoit Blanc said that, so he added that to the game as like, you know what I mean, to turn out the lights and shoot
Honestly,
her.
That's like a pretty clever thing. Like, saying, oh, you're so stupid. That's a good idea. I mean, fuck it, because that's like it worked until it didn't. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess until he didn't kill her.
That's funny.
Huh. Yeah. Good times. Good times at the cinema.
Could be a 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm very curious about what the third one's going to be. Because they'll probably, I would assume, do a different type of mystery.
Yeah. And I like the different situation too. Like it still was kind of like, a lot of money involved, but I feel like that is just good to raise the stakes for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some type of empire, some big idea, like that's always fun.
Yeah.
But this just felt like a different environment for the same thing as that original one. Like I don't know, they got a good formula going.
Yeah, it's big star-studded cast of people, and most of them are red herrings just to kind of throw off the scent and whatever.
Yeah.
But they were all like a part of it. You know what I mean? Like they were red herrings, but they were still a part of the actual like answer, I guess.
Yeah.
Or has it the whole of the donut.
It's not like completely unnecessary. It's
still building the story up.
Yeah, they are the story. It's just like the specific, because I mean it's not always it comes down to like the A to B to C or whatever, but then like all the other stuff that's happening.
Yep. Because like who was my guy? Like the black guy who was like his assistant or something like that. Even him, like to a certain extent, his character really never did anything. You know what I mean? He was just another like character for you to point at, like, oh, was it him?
Talking about the guy in the hat?
The black guy with the hair.
He was like this. Wait, the hair?
With the who was like his assistant, who was like the scientist guy.
Okay, the scientist, like.
Because like he really. Like him.
He didn't really do anything.
Yeah, he didn't really do anything. He was just like kind of there.
So he invented the thing that blew up. Right, that was his. So like
no, they found someone else. Like that was the part I also didn't like. I don't know. They never really talked about those guys who he said he found who convinced him that Clear was like the future. He wanted to invest in Clear now.
Yeah, okay.
But we did kind of just like skip over that. Unless that was my guy who was in the basement was the dude from Clear
somehow or whatever. I'm not. Yeah, like whatever the whole like fake conspiracy was that was like disguising the. I guess it wasn't really. I mean, because it was all about that stuff anyway. I mean, it was like the entire napkin storyline was about their whole company that involved all of them and whatever their specific roles. I guess they didn't really have. I guess their only specific roles, and they weren't the only people connected to it were like the fucking murderer and victim. Although I guess then like the politician was going like, oh, I did sign some bill on some power plant.
Yeah. And
the other guy said I did something with something. I can't.
They were all like his puppets to a certain extent.
what did Batista have to do with anything? Just to kind of he wanted to be part of the inner circle and he wasn't.
Because I thought he was a part of the inner circle, but he did something with the
energy thing.
yeah. And so he couldn't have him, like, he was giving him, like, you know, some YouTube love, but he wouldn't let him, like, be up there, like, the face of it on the news and stuff. Because he botched it. Okay, so what did the Russian guys actually have to do with it? Or not the Russian guys, but those. He was like, or somebody brought Clear to him, or what was that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was I missing with that?
What? When?
I don't know. You're trying.
I don't remember that.
It was like.
Was that a preview in the beginning?
No, they were saying that someone put the idea in his head to bring the Clear, like to go with the Clear. Into Edward Norton's, and that's why he was like, and she was like, no, you can't do this.
Right.
And we never really talked about like that part.
Oh, I just sort of, I guess I sort of assumed it was just him just being like kind of a pushy, whatever, like that. Just the fact that she would just say no to whatever.
But
that
she
would
quit. But she quit the whole company because of it.
Right. Because it was like gonna blow up the world or something, like some type of like.
Yeah. Like there was something wrong with it. And then, okay, so I'm just gonna be honest. I guess I kind of had this confused in my head from watching the movie, but like, I thought she had like invented Clear on the napkin.
Did she?
But
that's
it's
what I thought too.
Okay, so now
what was that?
I'm a little bit.
They didn't really say what was on
Yeah,
the
did she like invent something else that made them the company and helped it all blow up? Because Clear is the reason why they were like, no.
She wanted to sell the shares though to get out, and he wouldn't let her or something.
But I thought like they already had this company built on something else. And that's where I'm like, maybe I'm missing something in
who
here.
invented what at what point?
Yeah,
what was the initial
yeah.
thing, and then
what was that she wrote on the napkin? What was the whole napkin thing?
I don't know. You need a Wikipedia summary. I don't know if it's been updated.
Run that out. We got to watch that on Netflix again. Man. Genius.
Yeah. Some fucking.
Because I bet it was explained, and I'm just like misinterpreting something. You know what I mean?
It's a lot to take in. It was like a lot of twists and turns being presented to you. You know.
But it was done well. It was really done well. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I saw that One Piece movie, and I felt like it tried to do this, but it didn't do it as efficiently.
Like what did it try? What aspects?
The layers, and then giving you a little backstory so that it felt like, you know what I mean? The twist on the twist on the twist. But I feel like they tried to twist it too many times on the like what actually happened kind of thing.
Right.
But this did that well. It was able to keep doing those twists. Yeah. But it was doing them the right way.
Right. Huh.
To where like the third act was still like, it was almost a mystery in itself, but we still understood all the players, we knew all the backstory, but it still was like almost a whole new movie from there.
Yeah. It was like the movie kept reinventing itself.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of similar to what happened with Knives Out too. You know, I mean, I mean, literally, I guess.
It's that second act. It's the structure they do it. Where like in that second act, they're revealing that backstory, like what happened in the past, and then all the things that have already happened in the first one that you paid attention to, and were like, or is that, or is that? Then a lot of that stuff just makes sense.
Right.
And they do the recap of like what those characters were going to do.
Right.
Because a lot of times you'll see them doing something really quick in that first act, and you're like, okay.
Right.
Then the second act, it goes into that more, and it's like, oh, that's what that discussion was. Or when they pull somebody aside, you don't see it in the first act. When the second act,
stumbling away.
And then you know, oh, that's what all those conversations were.
Right.
Because like all you see is her like, oh, she's changed, or whatever she said.
Yeah.
But you didn't actually hear the combo that they had when she came down there.
Right. Huh. Crazy shit, man.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
It was legit. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I do enjoy a good mystery.
I think it's non-linear storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely jumped around. Huh.
And you gotta keep up with it, like you're
several times. Yeah,
it does get confusing.
Yeah, being able to unpack it like this is helpful. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, figure out what happened.
What even was that movie?
Yeah, good times.
No,
recommend.
Highly recommended.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, really, really, really glad I got to see that without spoilers. That would just like suck to have just like, you know.
Yeah. Hey, you know.
Log on
sorry
to
that
Google
they watched
some headline. It's like, oh, this fucking whatever the fuck spoiler happened. Jon Snow does this, and it's like, oh,
It's always the pictures that get me.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even have to click on the article, and a picture will be right there that's like literally the climax or like an
thumbnail,
exact
like
thing.
the
Like,
fucking-
yeah, I'm like, why, dude?
oh, man. So, it's like,
Just put like spoiler. I guess I should
Yeah.
do that on hindsight, but everybody should know by now if they come in.
I feel like if they're
Yeah.
clicking the movie,
We just talking.
or that they're clicking the episode, then they know that they're going to be talking about the movie. If you're not talking spoilers, then like, what the fuck are you going to say?
Yeah, we are. It's called hindsight. We just saw the movie.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, we just saw the movie.
Yeah.
Put your comments or write your rating in the comments. That's what hindsight is for, is to see what other people thought and then say what you thought.
Yeah. Movie was dope.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm looking forward to more Netflix stuff in theaters. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to say that because I feel like it is kind of making things backwards a bit, but whatever. They're making all the movies. Let the streaming become the new theater.
I mean, I guess if they're just hiring the same people that would be making the movies for it's all just the distribution that's, I guess, changing, right?
Yeah.
They're like subcontracting whoever the fuck. Knives, what was it? What's Brian Johnson's production company's name? Whoever the fuck those people are. They got an amazing deal for this movie. Like, it was great. Like, there was like, Netflix paid like half of some crazy amount. It was like $300 to $500 million for like Knives Out 2 and 3. Because I guess taking factoring and whatever bonuses and shit you get just like through the theatrical and DVD things, which don't normally happen the same way with Netflix because it's all streaming. So it's not like DVD sales and it's not like a theatrical run like normal. So
that's why they were able to get it. I was gonna say
What-
that seemed like it would be a little bit low for 2 Knives Out films, but if
Yeah.
I had like factor in the fact that it's a theatrical release, and then those kind of benefits that come from that, then maybe they make
Yeah.
more on the back end.
yeah, I can't even imagine how much they must bring. I mean, how much did the first one bring? Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
I would guess that it would probably made several $100 million, right? I mean, like, I feel like some of these, looking at the Avengers movies and shit, like $2 billion or whatever, it's crazy. And then but then the theaters are like $20 a piece, so you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Adds up pretty quick.
Yeah, people are going back to the movies too.
And it's like worldwide, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just the domestic box office.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
so many people going to see these movies. Like,
I was looking up the gross of Knives Out, and I don't have service because we're in a parking garage.
oh,
So,
well.
yeah.
So people have to put that in the comments.
Yeah.
I know it was a lot, though. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was solid.
Yeah.
That was a theaters movie.
Yeah. I feel like that was sometime not too long before COVID, right? That was like
Yeah, that's legit.
one of the last ones I remember seeing in theaters. It must have been a holiday season thing. Probably like
I believe it was a holiday season thing.
November, December movie, because then it's like January's the graveyard. So
And it was like snowy in the movie too, and I remember it was like correlating somehow.
yeah, that first one was good. I'd like to rewatch that. It's been years.
It's worth the rewatch. It looks like both of them are actually worth the
Yeah.
rewatch.
Yeah,
And I'm excited to see what Benoit Blanc has in store for us next.
yeah. I'm really.
Yeah.
They should just keep pumping them out. I mean,
Yeah, legit.
They
This is
don't-
a
I mean,
winning formula.
It doesn't have to be. They could like scale it back and make it cheaper to make. You know, they don't have to make it at like this big exotic location. I can understand why they would want to, because then you get to go shoot at this amazing island with the mansion and stuff. Which is like, of course, you're gonna do that. That's like Adam Sandler like making movies where he just goes on vacation. He invites all of his like friends and shit to be in the movie. They just get to go to let's go to fucking the Bahamas. Let's go to fucking wherever the fuck and like shoot a movie there and like pretend like we're like working. So, but the point is, if they want to just keep making Knives Out, just like making like the creepy mansion, do it on the train, do it on the whatever, you know.
I thought that they were gonna do like a train or like a plane one. I figured that's what you know what I mean. Like,
It still
just
should.
totally switch the environment up and
Yeah.
just do something
Yeah.
different. I knew that this one was gonna be like this, you know what I mean, based off the posters and stuff. But I was like, oh, they're gonna just probably keep switching up the location
I mean,
to give
they're
you like a
smart to
different
do
kind
it,
of mystery.
like big while they can. I mean, I mean, for all the reasons I said before. I mean, if I was, oh my god, like make all the movies in the fucking beautiful exotic locations that you can, like the mansions and the beach islands. It sounds like it's just so nice. Like however long this movie took to shoot.
Probably a minute actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably no. They had the
With
green
COVID.
screen and all the virtual production. Like, they're probably loving shooting this film to just get back to work.
Yeah.
I almost felt like that was a
true.
little like meta theme in there, like when
Yeah.
he was actually saying that.
Yeah.
And that like opening dialogue, that was clean though. And like you said, they could keep making these and they're really not connected a certain kind of way. I feel like they showed knives in both of them and it's called Knives Out. And that was like the only thing that really connected those movies.
It's like gonna make an amazing, whatever this and then the last one, whatever they do next, will make an amazing highlight reel. You know what I mean? So they gotta go, they're smart to go big while they can. And then whatever they do after, they can do the smaller scale things and it'll still be part of this really like kind of big, like flamboyant.
They're just gonna take it and make it into a TV show after this, like you know what I mean?
The CW show.
Yeah. Make 3-4 good Knives Out films and then just start the TV show. It's like Murder, She Wrote now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? But it's nuts.
I mean, how many? There's been like
Honestly,
12
A
Hellraisers
billion.
and shit.
That would be a good way for Daniel Craig to just, you know what I mean? Just Murder, She Wrote his way out at the end.
Yeah.
Have like a Netflix show that's like, you know, maybe like 3 seasons and he's just Benoit Blanc. Just,
Do
whoa.
it,
Yeah, man.
like I feel like the movie, like the streaming thing. He's doing the Netflix thing now.
Yeah, that's
like,
interesting.
Everyone's doing the like. I don't know. Has Tom Cruise done one yet? Will Smith has done like several at this point.
Several what?
Like the streaming movies or
Oh.
whatever. Like there's like a lot of the recognizable people doing like the
Yeah, making that jump over there. Well, there's still studios and they're
I
still
guess
paying.
Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese. I mean, whatever you say about The Irishman, I mean, it definitely had the. I mean, because I guess.
It had the power, the star power. It had
Yeah.
the cinema power.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe that. Yeah,
It's
the
like the-
top actors, top directors, like that's just
And
how
I
you
guess
move.
for them, it's just like, oh yeah, just like, oh, you'll pay us to make a movie, great.
Right. And they can just come with their ideas and be like, this is the movie I want to make. And it seems like Netflix will be like,
Yeah.
Alright.
well,
like,
yeah, legit.
Yeah,
like
they're
maybe
like backing them up.
add it on the
switch
pile,
some shit up, but yeah.
get people to subscribe to
Shoutouts.
us and whatever.
And it's working.
Yeah, I mean now there's a reason for people to want to check out. Not that there's like new content that is worth watching, which I don't even know what the fuck else Netflix even has right now.
I heard they were bleeding dry, and this seems like the actual solution.
Yeah, just making good shit.
No, like theatrical releases.
Oh yeah, they should definitely
It'd
shift
have
to
to
that.
be good though too, because
I
they're
mean, if
making
they
a lot
made
of
fewer
shit.
things and like made them like really good.
But some stuff is good, like
Mm.
this.
They definitely do. We love you, Netflix, but for
Yeah.
sure. They got a lot of misses, and they make a lot, and so everything
Yeah.
can hit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, but hey.
I still subscribe.
Yep, I'll take the best ones, put them in theaters. That's
Yeah.
gonna work.
I mean, you know what Netflix needs to do to save itself is they need to like. I feel like Peacock has it, Prime has it, Pluto TV has it. Like they're bringing the cable menu, the guide with the live programming back. So they have this is the action channel, this is the drama channel, this is the.
oh, that's just running movies,
And
kind
you
of
can-
and
consistently.
that- 'cause
So
they
it's
have
like
a
TV, the TV thing.
But then
Yeah.
people will discover they're making all this shit, but it's buried because whatever.
Real
you can't
talk,
you
bro,
can't
that's
even rate
interesting.
things on. You have the thumbs up, thumbs down. I think they brought 3 back because they realized it was a mistake too late. To remove ratings to whatever. But yeah, they need to have like that kind of like shuffle function. They have the shuffle thing, but they need to have a live channel
Yeah.
so you can discover this shit.
Yeah,
And you
that's
can know what category too
Yeah,
it
like
is.
Netflix original. Like let's find the teen dramas. Let's get the horror movies. Whatever. I feel like that would be
Yeah, I never even thought about that for Netflix. I mean, yeah, because they're already streaming so much crap to you. Literally, just me scrolling through is streaming so
Yeah.
much and looking at every single
mean,
trailer.
I'm
and
sure a
not
lot of their stuff is
Yeah.
good. It's just like how does stuff like come break out, and I feel like just having that like the passive being able to scroll.
That
through
is
shit.
legit, because I go on other people's Netflix and I'm like, what is this movie? Like, I've never seen
Yeah.
any of these films. I didn't even know Netflix had half these films.
Yeah.
Like,
That's funny.
It just will never come up. They
yeah, it's like it literally, it's too strong at this
Yeah.
point. It's like,
the
Yeah,
fact that
yeah, we need to,
other
like,
ones are
like,
doing it though.
reset
Like
it.
why not like just do it themselves? You know what I mean? Just like have like that kind of live programming. I mean, they were super easy to do. I mean, God. One of them has this. I mean, just there's like one of them has this the Bond channel. So just however many Bond movies are just playing all day, every day, just cycling through like 25 movies until it ends and starting over again.
yeah. And there's ad money to be made through that
They
too.
could
like,
Netflix
there's
do
some
look at all the anime live action animation or adaptations we have. Let's have a channel
That's
for
legit.
those. Let's have a channel for the original animes that they're based on.
The
and
thing is,
shit.
they could
Yeah.
change those channels too. That's what, you know what I mean? Like, they could literally run through their entire library and then just the channel is now
Yeah.
this new thing. You know what I mean? Like,
and,
Yeah.
and you could like when you go to the thing, you can catch it in mid play, or you can start from the beginning. You can like join in progress or restart or whatever and stuff, or like go to the channel's homepage. It's like, oh, you see that show and it reminds you, and let me go to their, I want to check out a different episodes, let me go to their homepage and find that. I feel like it would be really good for Netflix to let some of their content.
Yeah, this is the patent, by the way, you know.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
Netflix does this, we can get our check
VRX.
because we gave them the idea to do this.
You're welcome, Netflix. Call it
Yeah, you're
Netflix
welcome.
Shuffle because they have like the shuffle button already.
Netflix Shuffle.
Yeah, they just got upgraded.
They're gonna be like, now we actually called it Netflix Mix.
Yeah. They can,
Yeah.
you know what? If they, I just want to use it. Honestly, they can just like have the idea. It's like, god damn, take the napkin for fuck's sake.
Stop. That was nice.
Oh, man.
All right, we out.